Put me back on, please. Right, guys, I need everybody to start cooking immediately. Are you guys there? If you can hear me, you need to start cooking immediately.
Guys, I don't know if they can hear you, mate.
Yeah? You sending him a message? Okay, good. Okay, David, don't you allow that's fine. I'll send him a message now. They can do it.
Oh, iPad.
Sit, goes in your pocket. Let's go live when we've done already. Click, you can count this down.
That's all I can start cooking. Thank goodness.
Turn them off.
Yeah, the whole thing is.
Right, guys, if you guys can hear me, you guys really need to start cooking, yeah?
Contestants, can you hear us? You have to start cooking. There's no acknowledgement of hearing us.
No, because I think that switched them off over there. Guys, you need to talk to us, please.
Unless we wait, but then
Okay, can I see what going on? Stand by for now.
Oh, but now I can't see my thing again.
Are you cooking?
Start us and we'll work it out.
It said start cooking. I got a WhatsApp.
Okay, they've got the WhatsApp. They started.
Go.
Yeah. Just check my. Dude, this is gone again. Like it's not this morning.
Time to cook.
Put it away, mate.
Yeah, I see Facebook.
Everyone on the phone is
good, I think.
But they started cooking, so.
Yeah, that's
If I wanted to do something in his fridge, can you get me in shot?
that's good.
I'm trying to figure out what's happened.
I'm going to start by looking in the fridge. Just for something different. I'm going to start the my opening shot is going to be me looking in the fridge and say, but this thing is from 2016.
Yeah, that's.
Oh God, I went through such an anchovy phase now during the lockdown.
That's why we had a meeting about this now. This is gonna go.
Mooi like your pote. I've got a problem with my licorice kettle. Some friends looked after the place and I think they left the spout open and it burned. And you had to get that burn. It looks authentic, so it's not the end of the world. You know, up until recently, I didn't know you could use anchovies in meat dishes.
Lovely.
It gives it that
Especially lamb.
Yes. I only during lockdown tried the recipe and I was like, okay, let's see. And you know, we've been making a lot of also white bait as a snack. Deep fry it.
Beautiful.
Deep fried parsley, salt, crusty bread. Just ingredients. I know. Okay, bye.
Get a little ball, right?
Technical problems. Oh, this smells so good.
None of them do. Relax. I can cook whatever. If you don't
These are actually not. You have to put this at pan because like slap like what you eat for breakfast. Oh no. This amount of sauces.
I feel like this comes in really handy.
Yeah,
That
really
size
is.
perfect.
Omelets and eggs.
Yeah.
How much more? That's what I'm wondering. Are you guys, is it running though? Is it running?
That's what it's that's good, dude. They're all for the thing. Put it back there. The dog is called running.
Can we still talk to one another? We're on mute. Do you guys also get like when you're speaking to David that it's all like he's stuttering, or that the signal is like he's
There's lag.
Yeah. He hasn't spoken to me yet. I'm gonna finish.
oh okay, and everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. But David, this thing is from 2016. Are you gonna cook with it?
Stop it. Put it back in the fridge.
Are you
Put that back in the
Did you
fridge.
smell it first? You do the smelling test, not the. Hello, everybody. You're finally with us. Welcome to the 4th episode of hashtag Cooking with a Cause with this guy over here, David Higgs, who's getting stuck into our new friend over here, Boschendal's beautiful red wine, the Nicholas. So Nicholas has joined us in the kitchen, and he's very, very welcome, isn't he, David?
He's very welcome.
So apologies to everybody. We did have a bit of a technical glitch. You know, spring has sprung, there are all kinds of things happening, things are changing, and the technical gremlins decided to join us. But what's important is that we are here. Our contestants this week started cooking at 6 o'clock as per the chef's instructions, although I didn't hear them say, yes, chef, when he said, start cooking, but you could hear our voices, you couldn't see our picture, but the cooking has indeed started. So we're just under 10 minutes late in you seeing us, but the cooking has been underway. The David Higgs hashtag Cooking for a Cause is in its 4th episode. Can you believe it? Time really does fly when you're having fun and you're eating lekker food, which is what we have been doing. But if you've just joined us, never fear, we'll bring you up to speed, won't we, David?
We will indeed.
Because here's what you missed last week on the 3rd episode of David Higgs hashtag Cooking for a Cause.
Check it out.
It's Friday night. It's become the activity for Friday night.
I know.
Hashtag David Higgs
Matchy,
Cooking
matchy.
for a Cause. We didn't plan it. We didn't plan it. We're just that connected. I'm feeling a little bit more spring in the air. Were you feeling that this week as
This
well?
whole week.
Yeah.
Go out for a ride with a short sleeve shirt on. Eh?
I was thinking more like I'm eating fish, you're drinking white wine, but you know, each to their own. The Haridas.
It's a symphony of
No,
Haridas.
you're doing something.
Enough already, guys.
Yes.
Welcome to Josie. A little bit challenging this week. Not easy to put together, but you know, so you got to think a little bit out the box to keep it interesting. So there we are.
I mean, you can look at all those things and say, you know what, I'm just going to cook them all to within an inch of their life, be nice and mushy, roll them into something and fry it. But that would be boring.
No, that would be boring.
Find out, firstly, who our contestants are and perhaps get an idea of what they've decided to do with the ingredients. Nonny, hello.
I am representing Eastern Cape. Hi, my people.
Nani, can we just focus, please?
Hello. How's the heat in the kitchen? Are we feeling confident?
Well, I must tell you, I grew up in an Afrikaans home. So it was all vleis and rice and aardappels and no fish.
She's got an updo with her hair. She's got a little leopard print, animal print thing going
That's what
on
she's,
there.
she's working at speed, let me
And
just
look
tell
at
you.
how immaculate
Start
the kitchen.
off. Start off.
God. Hi there, Dash.
Hey, Dash.
Are you dashing through the kitchen? How are you feeling tonight? And again, that reminds me, David, you know, when you were growing up on a Sunday, I can't remember eating cauliflower on its own or broccoli on its own. It's altijd saam.
Yeah.
With a lekker cheesy sauce,
100%.
with a roast chicken.
Generally
and then-
overcooked.
And auntie.
Hey, the birds. Hey, spring oak. Spring's
Yeah,
almost
but
here.
now you're prejudiced towards other birds because when the hardy-does are speaking, then you have a problem, and now when the pretty birds are speaking, it's like, oh, look how lovely spring is.
Those things are prehistoric. Okay? They shouldn't even be here.
So anyway, as I was saying, we must check for beads. I've never had to do that in the kitchen before.
No, guys.
Is daar nog een?
No, it was just one. I'll be tasting shortly, thanks to one card. So
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Bye.
Ciao.
So clearly, what we need to do is I need to tell people that he did wash that shirt since last week Friday. Or Mona Lisa did, probably. Right?
She
and
did.
we need to check the beads on his arm that they don't make an unwelcome appearance this week. It's a professional chef, I promise you. He really is. But, so last week you saw lots of action in the kitchen. Barramundi fish was the center of attention in the ingredients list last week. But David, who won?
Well, let's see. Who won? It's a Friday night. The food is delivered in record time by one cart deliveries. And we are going to start off with Alfredo. Then going on to Dashnia, we have Yolandi. And last but certainly not least, we have Noni. Just guys, the smells that are coming from here is unbelievable. We've even got a little salad on the side there, eh? And the winner of the third week is Alfredo. Good job. The dish was so neat, beautifully presented, incredible flavors that came through. Great dish.
And we're back. And I managed to catch your announcement of the winner live on Instagram on Monday night, even though I was in the middle of nowhere in Dullstroom.
Thank you.
Alfreda was so excited.
So did you hear husband in the background?
Yes!
he was amped.
They were
Let me
so
just tell
pumped.
you.
It was so great, and it just shows, in as much as this is all for a good cause, the competition amongst our food lovers in South Africa, or especially here in Johannesburg, I should say, before we
Yeah.
take it countrywide and then international. It's just been so great, but all in good spirit.
All in great spirit, and as we said last week, what's happened is that all of a sudden, everybody that's got a little bit of food background, we've got bloggers, we've got food writers, we've got hobby cooks, like everybody's getting involved. And I think that for me is, you know, Dashnia used to work for me.
Exactly.
You know, that was quite special, and she put together an incredible meal.
Beautiful meal.
And so
You had a tough job.
I'm loving the way the show is progressing and the growth. Yeah.
And what I've loved is even people who are self-taught, their love of food comes through A, the heritage of it,
Yeah.
B, and then C, their skills are really out there and they're doing very creative things as well.
100%.
Anyway, so this week.
Let's just talk about the ingredients quickly,
Yes,
because I think we
please.
need to get to our
Yes.
contestants. So guys, basically what we got delivered from our incredible suppliers, and the nice thing about these suppliers is that they're my suppliers at the restaurant, you know. Bull and Bush, they bring me all my meat, free range, beautiful free range stuff, organic stuff, and you know, whatever I'm needing, they will bring to me. Nose to tail, front to back. We know this.
Top to
Farm
tail.
to table. Okay.
Because it's
We
sustainable.
Exactly. Then we talk about urban foods. You bring me all my vegetables to the restaurant, going to the contestants. We're talking about La Marina. They bring me all my seafood and all the speciality bits. We're talking about, who else are we talking about? Food Lovers
Eatery.
Food Lovers Eatery. So, you know, these guys are all people that I work with on a daily basis. And I think it's just great that they are delivering to our contestants. So,
And the ingredients this week is?
so this week we are talking about, we've got a rack of lamb. So I've done two things with a rack of lamb. I'll show you just now. We're going to talk to the contestants
I
first.
wish people could smell what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
smells like in this kitchen right now.
A rack of lamb. We've got green beans. We've got millipap, okay, maize meal. Beautiful, beautiful Healy's mature cheddar. We are heading into Heritage Month, and And yeah, like Healy's mature cheddar, lamb, Karoo lamb, like all these incredible.
And Healy's comes from.
Can you take that? Can you just take that off the heat for me?
Yes, chef.
Just move it off the heat there. Liam,
chef.
you got to watch here, my friend. And we got green beans, we got corn on the cob, we got beautiful tomatoes. So those are the ingredients that we have this week. The contestants have 1 hour from 5:30 to 6:30, and then it'll be picked up by one cart delivery and delivered to me in 15 minutes. So it's a great format. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, it's fine. Los maar daar.
I'm just saying, you're going to have to drag me away from this thing because it smells divine. Okay, is you klaar?
Who are the contestants?
Okay, let's do that. Please go and look after that lamb. It's very, very precious. I still don't know how. I'd love to see how we cut that rack of lamb into this beautiful little parcel of deliciousness. In any case, enough about the lamb. We'll hear more about it a little bit later as we keep going because we've really been able to showcase the different ingredients that's available in South Africa. And one of our contestants made that point 2 weeks ago. In fact, she's gone through to the final. Rakni was saying because she has lived in various parts of the world and has various influences. She comes from an Indian family, but she grew up in Kenya. And she says what she loves about living in South Africa right now with a young family is just the variety of ingredients that is available to us. Even in a place like Johannesburg, it's far from the coast. We were talking about how we get good seafood. Yeah. But if you want to make Thai, you can get fresh lemongrass. You know, if you want the latest spices for a curry, there are various places you can go to get that. Or if you're lucky, if you know somebody's mommy in Durban who's got somebody coming from Durban to Joburg, they'll bring you their very especially mixed masala as well. So the ingredients is also really has taken center stage during this hashtag Cooking for a Cause series. And people have really blown David away. I mean, I've often seen him say, okay, this is what I'm planning. And after we've seen what the other contestants are planning, all of a sudden David's had to come up with something to up the ante because they were showing him a thing or two. But on top of that, of course, at the core of everything that we're doing on this show is a little organization called the Inner City Can Collective. That if you've been with us on this journey and you've just started finding out what David is about, what his cooking philosophy is about, but what his human philosophy is about helping those who need it most. And during lockdown, I'm sure you agree, we've really seen people in great need. And what has really inspired me is how ordinary South Africans have reached out to others to help them, to say, listen, I'm okay for now. My salary is still being paid. Who can I help out with dinner this week or supper or just a staple that will get them through the month and ensure that them and their kids can continue to eat. And that is just part and parcel about the kind of empowerment that the Inner City Can Collective does. Not just about putting food on the table, but ensuring that people and families are empowered so that they can prepare their children so that their standard of living can be lifted. And we see them go into different careers. Their education can be top of mind, and there's certain things that they don't really have to worry about as much. And that is what the Inner City Can Collective is about. And there you've got the screen on top of you. You can go donate. You take your smartphone, you keep the camera over that little QR code as we've come to know it, and you can donate very easily there. Those are just some of the ways that you can donate and get involved. One of the other ways, of course, is through Quicket, our partners at Quicket. If you want to purchase any of the recipes that you've seen being cooked by our contestants as well as by this little known chef here behind me, David Higgs, all of those recipes are available to be purchased on the Quicket page. You can see the details there. Cooking for a Cause is what you have to look for, and all it takes is $50. But what's more important is that $50 goes straight to the Inner City Can Collective. But wait, there's more, isn't there, David? If you go to Quicket and you purchase those recipes for $50, or if you go onto the QR code to donate to Inner City Can Collective, you will go into a draw. A random draw, but for a very, very special prize, because David Higgs has agreed for whoever is the donator whose name gets drawn, he will cook you a very special meal that he will deliver to you at your home. He will have a glass of wine with you, if that is your preference, and a fat old chat, because we all know, if you watch these 30-second sessions during lockdown, he likes to talk, eh? He doesn't even need somebody next to him to talk.
We're socializing. We're not talking, we're socializing. Making new friends.
My best one was 2 weeks ago where you just left the camera going, I'm coming now, guys, I'm just going to the toilet. And
I forgot to close the door.
And they just stayed there and they waited like, are you done now? So he will come over, have a bit of a chat with you about food, whatever you want to talk about. And then on top of that, I've managed to use my family influence and convince my little sister, and I didn't have to convince her. She jumped at the chance to get involved and to help out. My sister, Davina May Gordon, you can find her on Instagram. She's a very cool violinist, but don't tell her I said so, because you know how baby sisters are. And a good friend of David's as well. And she has agreed to come along. And while David is introducing you to the food he's prepared, having a glass of wine with you, she shall serenade you with a little special set that she's agreed to put together. Now, I'm not sure about you, but that is something very special. $50 on Quicket, or make a donation of some kind to the Inner City Can Collective, and you stand the chance for having a fabulous night delivered to you by David Higgs and friends, as it were. Now, our contestants are cooking as we speak. We've got some technical issues we're trying to sort out. It doesn't seem like we've got audio with them at the moment. So we're trying to fix that because, you know, this is the new norm. If you're not on mute, you must restart your computer, Zoom, Google Hangouts, all kinds of things. This is the life that we lead right now. So our technical team is trying to figure that out. But what we can do is introduce you to our contestants, and we've got 4 fabulous contestants, as has become the norm over the last 4 episodes of Hashtag Cooking for a Cause with David Higgs. The first one tonight, we've got 25-year-old Bernalee Swart, and she is from Midrand. She calls herself a young amateur home cook, and there's a gorgeous picture of her. And one of the younger contestants we have had, because the 30-somethings have kind of dominated the field in this competition, and she works in marketing. She's studying marketing, and she says her dream would be work in marketing in the food business in some way, shape or form, either in the restaurant or catering business, but food is indeed her love, and she says that the kitchen is where she feels calm and happy and motivated. And I think so many of us can relate to that. It's become, even more so during lockdown, a therapy of some kind. Is it therapy for you to be in the kitchen, David?
It's definitely therapy. definitely
because
therapy.
It's also work.
Yeah, no, but it's not really work. It's not really. It's what I love. It's what
you
I
do
love
love
doing.
it though, right?
Okay, and when there's good wine involved, it's not work.
But you do go into a zone. I've seen that.
Yeah, no, I do it.
Like if you're busy, you know,
no, yeah.
and that kind of thing.
No, absolutely.
All right, apparently. Word is, we've sorted out our technical issues. So, without any
Excellent.
further ado,
Please.
Bernalee Swart, please tell me you can hear me. We're crossing to Midrand. It is quite far, so
Yeah.
we might have to send one of your Hadidas to go and check in on her.
No problem.
Bernalee Swart is our first contestant this week, only 25 years old. Cooking is her passion, and so is her studies into marketing, which she hopes to combine one day. She also loves animals. She loves dogs. You see, I've done my homework.
Yes.
As we try and find out if we can hear. Bernalee, I think I can hear your kitchen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, there she is. And look at her beautifully decorated kitchen. Or is that just normally what your kitchen looks like, Bernalee?
It's a little bit extra, especially for you.
Especially the bunny ears. I
love it.
I won't ask you if you just had the bunny ears lying around. We'll leave that to the imagination.
Was I saw the rest of the family also had bunny ears on. Like, where are they?
Where's my other helper? I
Bring them in.
Went to the bathroom.
With the bunny ears as well, and a pink
I like
shirt.
it. I love it.
The pink theme and everything. Now, oh, there we go. Now, Bernalee, you say you're a young amateur home cook. Where did this love of cooking come from?
I think it actually started as cooking as a subject, and the more I learned about it, the more I loved it. And also, my mom likes cooking, more baking, but my sister loves cooking. So we basically a family that loves to cook and bake.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of family.
Yeah, definitely.
So now you've had the ingredients in front of you. We're cooking with lamb this week as the core of the list of ingredients. What have you decided to do with the ingredients that's been delivered to you?
Well, with lamb, I decided to do a butter basting with lemon and rosemary and thyme. So actually, it's now oven, so I can't show you, but I'm marinating a little bit for now within the butter. And now it's currently in the oven, soaking up all the juices and just marinating itself and stuff. And with the pop, I'm making a deconstructed pop tart type vibe in honor of Heritage Day.
Oh, yes.
That's nice.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, great. And you think you've got enough time to finish everything off, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to leave it there, Burnley. We are running a little bit behind schedule, so let's see if we can squeeze everybody in. So that's Burnley Swat. You can find her on Instagram, Burnley.binky is her Instagram handle, so go check her out. As with all our contestants, they've got a great social media presence, and I don't know about you, I just can't get enough of looking at food on social media. Right, on to our second contestant, who's got very strong roots in the Eastern Cape. Not the first one that we've had so far.
Yeah.
One of our real foodie nurseries, I think, is the Eastern Cape, we can safely say.
Yeah.
Babalwa Lukwareni, who's 36 years old, and she's joining us all the way from Roodepoort, 36 years old. And I looked at a picture and I thought, oh, but she's a foodie. She's also a chemist.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, look at that. It's just chemist Barbie, isn't it?
Chemist Barbie.
But
listen,
loves food.
But come on, man. Roodepoort's not so far.
Technically.
Babawa, are you there? Where are you?
Okay, we're busy connecting to Babalwa. I found it very, very interesting to find out where all our food lovers come from, and they all have a day job. You know, I mean, your day job is your love of food.
Yeah.
But so what I've really admired is the foodies that we've had as contestants who've got these really serious days. We've had lawyers, we've had accountants, and then by night, they are these food queens and kings. Babalwa is one of them. She is, by day, she's a chemist in strategic sourcing of chemicals and raw materials for various industries. And then at night, she is cooking up a storm in her kitchen. Babalwa, where do you find the time?
I make time. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's a hectic life, but you know, when you're a mom of 3 kids, you find a way to be super mom somehow in the best way that you can.
And
listen,
yeah.
whoa, I'm going to stop you there. I just want to, Babalwa, I can just see when you work in that kitchen, there's such focus.
Yeah.
You move from one to the next. You are quick. You are focused. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving
But she's
it.
got like, she's stirring different things.
I know.
Talking.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
I'm home at about 5:30, and I need to whip up a quick supper. And my kids are hungry, and we have dinner by 6:30, 7 o'clock. So yeah,
on the ball.
Those go.
But now,
And I live also in a fast-paced environment at work.
Absolutely. Are you making pap there? What are you doing?
So today I'm making something that's very common in the Eastern Cape where I grew up in Mthatha. It's called so it's usually done during harvest time, where you make, you take the butternut or the pumpkin, you boil it, and then you add some butter and some seasoning. Then you add your meal. So this is something my grandmother would make for us for lunch. It's like a vegetarian or meat-free kind of meal that we would have for lunch.
And
I
now,
like
the part of the Eastern Cape that you come from, can I just say, I went to a wedding there of a very good friend a few years ago. I have never seen that much meat consumed as I saw at that wedding.
No, we are.
Listen,
meat lovers.
Mthatha has not met a sheep that it hasn't liked.
but guys, you know what's interesting about Mthatha and about the area is that the seafood that and we can cook some of those, but the seafood, it's so rich in seafood down on the coast there. It's interesting that not that you don't eat fish, but the fish is not bigger in the area.
Indeed. Now, what are you doing
we've
with...
got very good seafood from there because, you know, our beaches are
stunning.
It's the wild coast.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Done in any way. So very good seafood coming out of there.
So now, Babalwa, what are you going to do with this lamb that has been sent to you?
Say again?
What are you going to be doing with the meat that's at the core of the ingredients that have been sent to you?
So I've just seared the lamb and I'm letting it rest now. I put some lemon juice on top. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prepare the sauce. So I'm going to make a harissa, rosemary, lemon sauce.
Nice.
With some sun-dried tomatoes.
Papa, why are you showing off it? Because I'm tasting it here, like here in the taste buds.
Yeah,
I'm tasting that already. And with a glass of Boschendal red wine, Nicholas, I think Nicholas, our friend from Boschendal, would be very, very happy. That's Babawa Lukwareni, a fascinating character, as have been all of our contestants here on David Higgs hashtag Cooking for a Cause. A chemist by day. And we've got a time check.
Guys, we've got 30 minutes left, guys. We've got 30 minutes left. So you need to, you really need to be finishing, well, not finishing up, but you should be aware of the time, please. There's kids crying in the back.
Listen, but did you see how Babawa was just like,
no.
pots, children in the background,
But
organized.
calm, but
Absolutely.
calm.
Well, she's a chemist. I mean, she probably knows how not to blow things up, I would think. Right, so we're going to leave Babawa to doing her thing in Roodepoort, very organized woman, bringing in all of that heritage and influence from the Eastern Cape, where she's from, in Umtata. Those combinations that she's mentioned there for that sauce she's going to make just sounds delicious. But now let's go to Craighall Park, where our other contestant is standing by. Tyler Orfao is 26 years old, and she's our third contestant tonight. Also in marketing, as is Berna Lee, our first contestant, and she's a marketer by day, a food junkie by night, as is many of our contestants. And there she is, her Instagram account at Follow My Table, and she's on Facebook and she's on LinkedIn and there's Pinterest and there's all the goodies. David, don't go on LinkedIn, please. No, Instagram is enough for you. Let's just leave it at that. So let's see how Tyler has come along. She says she loves binge watching New Girl, and I love that show. And then she says she runs so that she can eat carbs.
Okay.
I suppose that's why you cycle as well, isn't
Exactly.
it?
Where is Tyler? Is Tyler there?
We're going to check if, once Tyler appears, we'll talk to her. I hear her before I see her. There she is. Tyler, you've got a lovely glass of Boschendal's Nicholas wine open in front of you. Tell us what you're doing with the ingredients today.
No, I want to, well, before you do that.
Oh, what?
Before you do that, tell me about your surname.
Yeah. It sounded like it perhaps comes from New Zealand.
Oh, no, my dad would be really upset if he heard that. I'm actually, he's watching out, he's probably cursing. It's Portuguese, and I've had variations of the pronunciation of the surname, and even as far as Oreo. So.
No.
Okay, so say it for us.
Well, I mean, it's Orfeo, but you can say
Orfeo.
Orfao.
Oh, okay. Orfao sounds a little bit more Portuguese than Orfao. Yeah. Now, with a Portuguese background, we're expecting great things from what you're going to do with that lamb.
So it's actually not Portuguese inspired, which again, to my dad's dismay. But
yeah, your dad's going to be very upset tonight.
With many things.
Exactly. So I've decided to crust the lamb in a maize, a parmesan, chili, and thyme like crust. So it's in the oven.
Lekker.
Nice.
And I've made tomato, pepperdew, onion, and garlic relish. And I'm making a sweet corn puree. I'm making potato and cheddar cheese rusties as well.
Jeez, very nice.
It's just so nice.
Like bean pearl situations.
Situations.
It will make an appearance.
That looks so
I can't wait for the appearance.
Pretty and dainty. Now, Tyler, you're in marketing as well, but you call yourself a food junkie, and your Instagram page, I'm assuming, is to do with food because it's called Follow My Table. Where does this love of food come from?
Well, I was actually, I've grown up in a family of people who love to cook and love to eat. And I went to boarding school for my high school, and it wasn't a pleasant experience in terms of like cuisine. So I guess like on every weekend when I used to come home, I would like challenge myself and to try different dishes and get stuff in the fridge and in the kitchen. And yeah, and I love it. I really, really have a huge passion for cooking. It's like a bit of a creative outlet for me, and I'm very possessive over my space. So the fact that this human is here in my kitchen.
Oh, come on. Let him into the frame at least, because I'm sure that's your support team. Isn't he doing all the slicing and the dicing?
He's just washing the plates.
I'm only allowed to clean dishes, and that's it.
Well, after you've eaten them, I suppose that makes kind of sense if you're not paying for the meal. Okay, so he's going to be your taste tester along with David Higgs, and I'm sure if he gives you the stamp of approval, David Higgs will as well. Tyler, we're going to leave you there so you can get cracking. We'll touch base with you a little bit later. You've got 24 minutes to go, so we're going to leave Tyler there. Also coming up with some very interesting combinations there. Parmesan crust on that lamb, and she's involving almost all of the ingredients, which is also quite a skill, because here on #cooking4a cause, you don't actually have to use each and every ingredients. David has left that up to you, but it seems that everybody is trying to use as much of this interesting ingredients as possible. Right, on to our fourth contestant. Here in Hyde Park in Johannesburg, Vashti Milton is 31 years old and is our last contestant tonight. She's 31 years old. Her Instagram account is, surprise, surprise, at Little Red Feasting Hood. And I read it before I looked at her picture, and I was like, oh, what's that about? I was like, oh, she's got red hair. I can see it now. So that is her social media presence. She said that she put off visiting parents in Bloemfontein in the hopes that she'd get the call to take part in #cooking for a cause. So that's a very risky move, because why do you say, Ma, listen, I'm not going to come to Bloem this week because David Higgs might call. And I'm sure Mom was like, okay, well, in that instance, it's fine, my cunt, you can come again some other time. How did your parents take the fact that you weren't going to come and visit them because you wanted to take part in this online cooking competition?
No, actually really well. I don't think my mom was surprised at all, because she's following my blog quite religiously. She's my #1 fan. So she was waiting for it, I'm sure.
Good.
So you've got quite a social media presence, but you also work in finance. So you work in finance, and then you've got actually got a blog going. It's not just an Instagram account. You're actually writing about food as well. I mean, everybody loves food, but not everybody's got a day job, and they're writing a blog about food. Where did that combination come from?
It just came from my love for food. It's something that I've grown up with. Us as a family, we've always cooked together. It's been something we think about. If we're eating lunch, I'll think about what I'm going to have for dinner. Some say obsession, I say hobby and love. So that's just kind of how it came about.
And the influences and the kinds of things that you like to cook, where does that come from? If your parents are in Bloemfontein, is meat a big part of what you normally cook?
It is. I was actually telling them when they gave me the call, I'm really hoping that you've had fishes out of your system, David.
Yeah, exactly.
Because just like last week's contestants, vleis, rice and aardappels.
There you go.
So I don't eat fish as much, and I really love my meat. So tonight, I'm really excited with the lamb.
So speaking of which, what have you decided to do with the ingredients tonight?
So tonight I'm making with the wrap of lamb, which is an amazing piece of meat. I've got a rosemary olive oil basting, and I've scored the fat and I've rendered that off, which is looking really good. I've then got a tomato relish that I'm making with some of this amazing Bushendal red wine. Almost a sin to put it in your food, I know. It's that
No. Let me stop you there. The good wine is what you want in the food.
If it's good enough to drink, it's good enough to cook with, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So I'm just about to put it in my relish, and I'm slow cooking that tomatoes nice and softly with the sun-dried tomatoes, which I'm going to add. And then with the pop, believe it or not, it's actually my first day I've ever made pop.
Ooh, the first time for everything. Macy van Bloemfontein.
Yeah, your dad is going to get really upset.
I was very, very spoiled in Bloemfontein and ate pop a lot and still do. I just never made it for myself.
Wow.
So I was on the phone with my nanny today, asking her if she could make it for me.
And there was lots of tutting, and I'm sure when she got off the phone, she was like, ooh, good luck with that. Okay, Vashti, we're gonna leave it there for now. Vashti is our fourth contestant, and David, it's really been great. Meat is a big part, and as much as we come from the coast, and fish is a big part of our heritage.
Sure.
So is meat. But I mean, in your opinion, I mean, your restaurant like Marble, there's a big focus on the way you prepare meat.
Yeah.
But do you think that the people who you have cooked for, not just at Marble or your other restaurants over the years, do South Africans really know how to prepare meat like lamb? Or does it depend on what their heritage is and where they come from?
No, look, I think the one thing that we do as South Africans, and we do it so well, is and every braai that you go to, like, I mean, I know that your husband, he loves smoking food, you know, like, and that's very much what South Africans do. They've got their own way of doing things.
Everybody's an expert.
And they're so proud of it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whether it's overcooked or undercooked or whatever it is, you know, like everybody is so proud of this thing that they do and their way of doing it.
And some people like it pink and some people don't.
Exactly, and their definition of braaiing, and like some put barbecue sauce with it and some don't, and some baste with this and some don't. But that's the beauty of it, you know, really, that we're not eating the same thing over and over again
And we were talking about nose to tail earlier. I do think it's great we do have a heritage of eating every part of the animal, because I think that's how you show respect.
But we do.
We show respect to that animal.
And we talk about Heritage Month. And you know, and I think this is one of the beautiful things about Heritage Month, is that as South Africans, we eat the whole animal, whether it's the sheep's head, whether it's the tail, the sheep's tail, whether it's the trotters or whatever. Like, we eat everything.
I went to a wedding in Daar many years ago, and I was introduced to skaapstertjies.
No,
Can
guys.
I just tell you?
But let me just tell you the funny thing about skaapstertjies is that skaapstertjies, not only are they, so guys, if you don't know what a sheep's tail is or a skaapstertjie, it's basically fat. There's
so
a minimal amount of meat on it. However, the traditional way, this is ridiculous, the traditional way of cooking skaapstertjie is to deep fry it. You are basically deep frying fat. No, I mean,
it's a traditional way of putting it on a braai so that fat can come off.
So the fat renders, but another way is that they deep fry it. I mean,
God, past the rennies.
But yeah, exactly, where are the rennies? There's not enough rennies in this country
world,
for that.
right? So I'm at this wedding, and then I was the MC at the wedding, and I said, listen, we stopped by the butcher, because my partner and I will always take an empty, when you go into the food, we take an empty icebox with you,
100%.
right? So we filled our boots, and at the wedding I spoke about blah, blah, blah. Later on, a cousin of the bride comes out to me, listen, do you want some scalps? I can get you 3 kilos. And I'm about to say yes. And my partner Liam goes, we can't take 3 kilos of scalp steakies back to Joburg. I'm like, why? Anyway, we didn't take scalp steakies back to Joburg. But speaking of heritage, which has been a golden thread through our show, one of our sponsors, heritage is very important to what they do. And the folks at Aga Stoves, heritage is core to what they do. And if you've seen any of their ovens and their stoves, it just screams out at you. I mean, this is a company that was founded in 1922. The founder was a Nobel Peace Prize winner, or not a Peace Prize, but a Nobel Prize winner. And he decided he wanted to have a top-of-the-line industrial cooker, but that could also do culinary. It could be culinary exquisite as well. And that's where it started. I mean, the foundry where they make those stoves in the UK is a World Heritage Site. And if you see those ovens in those homes, you just know this is where the heart and soul of that kitchen is. This is where everything happens, and this is where people cook for the love of it and for the love of the people that they're cooking for. Let's find out more about Aga Stoves.
The sky today. They must have known just how I like it, 'cause everything's coming my way. Who's been teaching all the birds how to sing around a lay? They must have known just how I like it, 'cause everything's coming my way. Yesterday everything looked anyhow. Then I met someone and oh, look at it now. Who's been polishing the sun, rubbing out the clouds of gray? They must have known just how I like it.
I just love the finishing on those stoves because it really looks so old and traditional, and yet it's so modernized, and the innovation has been amazing. As I talk, look at what that man is doing over there. It looks delicious. But we're going to come back and find out how he's doing. Let's go and check in with our contestants because we haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time with them. We're going to check in with Bernalise Swart, who's in Midrand, our 25-year-old, who is an amateur home cook, and she was very festive in her kitchen that was decorated. She was wearing bunny ears, lots of gees in that family, and she works in marketing, but a dream would be to work in marketing in the food and restaurant business, and that's the kind of energy that she's brought to the kitchen and what she has decided to do with the lamb. So lots of meat lovers on our list of contestants this week, which is a good thing because one of the core ingredients was lamb. Bernalise, the camera is on you. How are we looking over there?
Good, a little bit crushed for time, but I think I'll be able to take it, hopefully.
Okay, so what have you decided to call your dish? Because that's very important to give your dish a name before it heads over to David.
Well, I asked my family for a few suggestions, and the things we came up with quite risque.
That's okay.
But I think we're going to go with rack and pops.
What? Rechen?
Rack and pops.
Rack and pops. I'm not going to ask. And how is the deconstructed pop tart coming? I'm quite keen to see how that turns out.
It's coming good. We're going.
No. Come. I want to go a step back. What about this risque thing? Come, tell me the risque names for this thing. Come.
I can't say it live.
You can.
No, you can.
You can absolutely say it live.
It's the internet. You can say whatever you like.
You're literally wearing bunny ears. You can do whatever you want.
It's just my mother that's watching.
I mean, come on already. Kom, sê vir ons.
Wat het hy gesê?
The one was, it starts with a P, the word, and hash lekker pap.
Fucking like a pop.
Yeah, but with a P.
Well,
Come now. You're from the Cape. You should know.
I know, but I mean, I was toning it down.
Forgive him. He's trying to be polite. It's the other P. Okay, Bernalise Swart, we're going to leave you there. You've got 12 and a half minutes left to go, so you better get cracking. And she's given us a couple of names.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
God. All right, let's go to Babalwa. Babalwa, who is in Roodepoort. Babalwa Lukwareni, who is originally from the Eastern Cape. She's brought all of that beautiful passion for food and heritage from Mthatha, and she poured it into her dish that she's coming up with today. And a very, very pretty
she's still
woman.
going.
Look at her.
Look at her. So focused.
A chemist by day. I mean, this woman could... I wanted to say she could probably help us save our electricity, but let's not go there. That's a different kind of chemist. Babawa, how are you doing? How are you looking good for time?
I just want to get the sauce, and then I'm going to make my green beans, and then I should be done. Once I get the sauce nice with a good consistency, and then I'll slice my lamb, and then I'll be ready to plate.
Now, you did also say you're married to a vendor man and that Tendo is the love of your life. And is the love of your life supporting you in the kitchen here today? Is he the one manning the phone for the Zoom connection?
Here he is, coming ready. He is definitely the love of my life.
Oh.
Definitely made for me.
Hey!
There you go! Well done!
Oh. So we've got load shedding today, and he's managed to organize lights for us.
Listen,
Thanks,
he's a
guys.
keeper. He's a keeper, and he might just be doing that because you probably make very good food, and he wants to stay on your good side.
Thanks, my friend.
Okay.
Legend.
Bye. Okay, Babawa, we're going to leave you there. Babawa and the love of her life, Tendo. That's so nice that people
Love
still
it.
say that, eh?
Love it.
With their 3 kids, they got 2 girls and a boy. It's a busy household. And then the power outages happen, blackouts happen. That's what it actually is. And she's taking part in a cooking competition.
Stage 3 and stage 4, guys. Stage 3, I mean, how can we? Oops,
But
my
we're
stomach's
here.
sticking out there.
Okay.
Sorry, chaps.
It's a family show. Speaking... I don't know how to segue from your stomach to fatties and monies, so I'm not going to try. Fatties and monies. No, we don't want to start that competition because Max would win.
Yeah.
But you can't see him right now. We won't go there. So, Fatties and Monies is one of our proud partners here at David Higgs #CookingForACause. Their premium 100% Durham wheat Bellissima brand is the one you want to cook with, and we did earlier in Bellissima. We did cook with that earlier in the competition. Let's find out more about it.
Artisan Moni's Bellissimo. Artisan Moni's Ottimo.
When life inspires you to create, Bellissimo will give you the freedom to. Introducing the new premium quality pasta range from Fetties and Moni's. Bravo to you.
Okay, we've got 2 more contestants to find out. If you're keeping track of us, don't worry. I know my mum's on WhatsApp, so you didn't go to the other contestants yet. Don't worry, we're getting there. 26-year-old Tyler, at Follow My Table is her Instagram. Yes, we've got some great foodies in this country. Hey? And they're so organized and professional, you know, and they pour everything into it. She's in Craighall Park, a marketer by day, food junkie. She runs so she can eat carbs with Portuguese heritage, but sadly for her father, she didn't bring any of that into her dish tonight. Tyler, how are you doing over there?
Good. My lamb is out the oven, so I'm about to cut it, so
beautiful.
I'm a bit nervous.
Guys, you got 9 minutes left, huh?
Okay, so do you think you're looking good for time? You need to give us a name for your dish.
My dish is called Nice Wrap.
Nice Wrap. Nice and simple.
Listen, let me just tell you, your dad. Your dad is getting more and more upset. First, he was from Samoa, okay? Now his daughter's got a lovely rack, okay? So, like, where are we going with this?
As long as the lamb is cooked well, you can't complain. Okay, Tyler, do you think you've got enough time to go?
I do.
Okay, we're going to leave you to it. We're going to leave you to it. Tyler and a nice rack has about 8 minutes to go before she has to parcel everything, and the guys from One Cart will be the ones bringing it here to David's home so that he can again do the really tough job of tasting and judging other people's cooking for a change. Our last contestant tonight is Vashti Milton. She's 31 years old, in Hyde Park, and this lady is very brave because she called her folks in Bloemfontein and said, Ma, listen, I know I said I was coming to visit, but I might get this call from the guy who's a chef here in Joburg called David Higgs. So I'm just going to wait for that phone call. Lucky for her, the phone call did come, and her mum is a big fan of both her and David. So it's all worked out for the best. Vasti, how are you doing?
I'm getting there. It's a bit tight, but my lamb's almost done. I've got my mini pop tarts with corn and the mature cheddar, and I've crumbed those and they're resting. I've got my corn puree, and I'm almost done with my relish. The lamb is getting there. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Beautiful. Lovely rack.
I'm a little bit late on the resting, but I hope I tight squeeze.
So did she mention her name for the dish?
What are you calling this dish?
What are you calling the dish?
Oh, it's bougie lamb and pop.
Bougie lamb and pop. I like it. I like how that word is just everybody uses it now.
I know.
And also you even know what it means.
But you know what's interesting is that the younger generation actually don't know what bougie means. Like, then you say, oh, you mean bourgeois. What do you mean bourgeois?
What is
bourgeois?
Because in the hip hop world, that's where they start bringing in as bad and bougie, but they don't know that it comes from a longer word. But bougie works, right?
Bougie works, definitely.
Bougie works, fantastic.
It's not your normal pop and lamb. It's a bougie one today.
I like it.
We're dressing it up fancy. Okay, so that is Vashti Milton, our last contestant.
Good job, Vashti.
Putting the finishing touches to her dish. Her Instagram account is called Little Red Feasting Wood, and that is where you can find her. Now, this guy called David Higgs has been showing off the smells in here.
Yes.
It's been like torture, guys.
I've been so busy.
And I haven't gone into any of his pots. Henley's, the cheese, Henley's, they're from my hometown, aren't they? Healy's, sorry.
From Somerset West?
Are they not from Somerset West?
No.
But they are. Where have I had them? I had them at your friend Gregory's restaurant. They serve it with their wines and their whatever. So that's fine. All good things come from Somerset West. So 100%. I just assume.
100%. So basically, guys, the ingredients that I started with tonight was really all about. I mean, you can see it's about heritage today.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the lamb, whether it's the beautiful maize meal, whether it's the Healy's mature cheddar, which is cheese over the last couple of years in South Africa has just come such a long way. It's like wine as well, nobody rated South African wine 15, 20, no, not say 15,
No,
so
yeah.
20, 25 years ago.
Because a new world wine.
Yeah, exactly. And cheese is exactly the same. But over the last years, we've been doing the most incredible stuff with cheese and with wine specifically. But the one thing, red meat and fish, like we're the best of them.
And
Anyhow,
also we don't do too many fancy things with the red meat and the fish because we let it speak for itself.
Exactly.
Like you have today.
Exactly.
So what did we end up with here?
Okay, so we got 5 minutes left. Contestants, please, we got 5 minutes left. The guys are waiting outside. One cart. Yes, look at that.
Mooi is Boschendal.
Yes, my magtig is 'n mooi foto. Okay, so guys, we've got 5 minutes left. One cart is waiting outside to get it to me as quickly as possible. I have made a maize meal here with the corn inside, lots of herbs. I've put lots of butter, and I've got the Healy's mature in here as well. Okay, so beautiful. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that onto the plate. It's almost a, yeah.
Okay, now be honest. Did you make that, or did Mona Lisa make it? I'm not convinced. The secret of television.
So Mona Lisa actually did make it. I'm going to make it. She cooked the first pup I made. Guys.
Wait, is she still here?
Yeah, she's still here.
Mona Lisa, come out here.
The first pup I made lumps. So we had to start again. Mona Lisa, don't tell them. No, don't tell them.
Come, Mona Lisa, come see. Come, people must see.
Honestly.
This is your handiwork.
So
did you have to show him a thing?
So
or
guys,
two?
the first pup I made, I just poured the maize meal straight in there. I wasn't concentrating, and it got lumps, and I got cut down properly. I said, "What are you doing?" Anyway, so she said, "No. I tried to whisk it out, and I said, "No, we're going to start again." So
what is your secret to this? Lots of elbow grease.
Yeah, exactly.
and experience, clearly, David. Thank you, Mona Lisa. What did we do without her?
Exactly.
Right,
So,
where are we now?
So I've got this beautiful tomato that I've roasted in the oven with the olive oil. I've roasted some of the lamb. I've taken the bone off. I've roasted some of the lamb.
Just pink enough.
And I'm just going to finish it off with a bit of the Healy's. So it's that beautiful pup. It's that tomato, the roasted lamb. I mean, it really is. It's just, I mean, from a tasty point of view, I mean, you want to eat that.
Is watering.
Yeah, exactly. You want to eat that all day. The other thing that I did very quickly, I don't have much time left, is I made like a fondant potato. So cut the potatoes into wedges. I took all the lamb off cuts. I poured a bit of water onto it, some rosemary, a little bit of garlic, and I put that onto there. And then what I've got is I've got two little cutlets of lamb that I'm going to put on there. I've got my beans, all right. And then what I made is a little salsa of sun-dried tomato, corn, and anchovy. I've got a little bit of anchovy in here, which is lovely with the lamb and with a green bean. So two lovely.
I went through a hectic anchovy stage during lockdown, and it's only during lockdown that I realized you can actually do that with anchovy.
Exactly.
Because other people are like, but anchovy has fish, you can't put it in meat. But it creates that depth and that saltiness that's just perfect.
So there we go. There are the two dishes. Let's get that in there.
So do you think you would win hashtag cooking for a cause if these were your dishes? That's the question.
I don't know.
Right, exactly. So one of our partners that's been very helpful in you being able to do all of this every week. I mean, oh God, the fat is just, fat is flavor, is what the famous chefs say. Very, very fresh ingredients. Speaking of which, some of our partners making sure that is the case week in and week out is the Food Lovers Eatery. Let's find out more.
Tools down, lads. Tools down. But the first thing that you need to do, please, contestants, is that you need to take a photograph of your dishes, put the cloche on, and one cart deliveries are waiting outside to get the food to me. So, very exciting.
Very, very, very exciting. And the one cart guys, when I saw them arrive when we came back, They even seemed excited to be bringing it and to be part of it. And we actually can have a bit of a countdown. So they've given us a name for their dish. You guys need to take a photo of the dish because let's face it, did the dish even happen if you don't have a photo of it and putting it on social media? This is the world that we live in right now. And then the one card guy is going to come and put it in a box, and we've got a countdown.
We have a countdown. We have 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tools down.
Take
in
the photo.
Box, take the photo. Put the cloches on it. It's going into the box from the guys at one cart will be there to whisk it away. Whisk it away, don't you like it?
I like it. Hey?
And they are going to bring it here to David, and he's going to taste it right here, and we'll see that. Let us find out what the one cart guys are about.
So guys, can you believe we are into the final? We will on Monday.
Oh, one card guys, you see, they know it's their moment right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to jump into action. Right, you were saying.
So, we are into the final. We basically on Monday we will announce the fourth finalist, and then we got some exciting news. We are going to organize. Or we have organized, not we, because I got nothing to do with this. Actually, let me just take this out.
Where is it? Stop it!
Yeah. In Kramerville, the Bosch Experience Center is located there. And we are going to be taking the final to the Bosch Experience Center. And all the finalists will get together there. However, it's not going to be on the Friday night, and it's not going to be this Monday, but it's going to be the following Monday. And we will announce the fourth finalist on Monday, obviously, and then get everybody together and then cook together and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, because let's face it, your kitchen would have been a bit small to fit everybody.
Yeah. There's only one stove here anyway.
But that's fancy. We must dress up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a grand finale
can't
for
wait.
something special.
Can't wait.
All for a good cause. The Inner City Can Collective, the people that we're doing this all for. And you're going to be able to go and watch us in that fancy kitchen, the Boschendal. Boschendal, you see. You can see I'm a girl from the Winelands. Boschendal Nicholas has been keeping us company tonight, but the Bosch Experience Center in Kramerville is where the final will take place with everybody all on one roof, not on Zoom like we've been the last few weeks. And if you've seen any of these any of these recipes over the last few weeks that's caught your eye and you really want to figure out how they do it or what David has made, I mean, this is just that anchovy with lamb. It sounds crazy, I know, but I've tried it during lockdown, and you will tell us that we were right. So if you want to buy any of those recipes, go on to Quicket. You can purchase them for $50. And we know for some people that that's an amount of money, but it goes to a great cause. The Inner City Can Collective. Go onto social media to find out more about them. And then if you do that, you will go into a grand prize draw where you could win an opportunity for David Higgs to cook you a meal. He'll come to your home, and not like a stalker. I mean, you'll hand over your address. He'll have a glass of wine.
I won't sing.
He won't sing, thankfully. He'll have much loved, I have to say that because she's my sister, Davina May Gordon will come and serenade you and will play while you have a bit of a chat with David about whatever you want to chat about, because we know he likes to do that. And that is what you can win if you just go onto Quicket and purchase those recipes for $50, or you go to Inner City Can Collective and you make a donation, no matter how small. Every little bit helps, and that is why we have been here Friday in and Friday out. And then on Monday you announce the last finalist that will go through to our final, and like we said, that final will be following Monday at the very fancy and cool Bosch Experience Center. David, can you believe?
Unbelievable. Guys, and also just understand, I think that there were a couple of glitches tonight, and it's but I think the beauty of what we're doing is that it is live, you know, and it is real and it's authentic, and we've got the most incredible contestants you can just see how they enjoy cooking. So,
and we've taken you live into their kitchens.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
And
how often can you say that?
Exactly.
You know?
So thanks for the patience, and these things happen. There's load shedding everywhere. There's all sorts of
but everybody's taken
challenges.
it on their chins like South Africans normally do, and that's been great as well.
Exactly.
We do want to know from you, though, if you're watching it on David's Facebook page, you can go into the comments there and tell us who you think is going to win. We've had some great combinations of flavors that's going to be on offer tonight. I don't want his job. I mean, eating the food is lekker, but I mean, making the decision is going to be very, very tough. So you can go onto the Facebook comments section there and tell us who you think is it going to be. Is it going to be Bernali? Is it going to be Babalwa? Is it going to be Tyler, or will it be Vashti who will come out top on Monday? So they will join. One of them will go through to the final, and don't forget, we've now been doing this is our 4th week. Sarah was the first winner, Rakhi was the second winner, and Alfreda was our 3rd winner, and one of tonight's contestants will be the 4th one. It's actually quite exciting.
It is very exciting. I can't believe we're 4 weeks down.
Yeah, and I mean, David, we've come to a week. I mean, I went to Dullstroom. You know, I kind of had an okay week in Dullstroom. But you weren't that busy this week, were you?
I've got to get to work. Listen, I have to get. My people are waiting for me. So, I need to get
out of here.
Yeah.
So David's going to go. He needs to go and put on his fancy chef clothes for Marble and Saint. That's really started this week. It's been so great to see other restaurants opening up and taking responsibility for welcoming people in a safe and hygienic environment, and people respecting the new rules of this new normal. But we've got people working, and we've got people back in the restaurants, and that's
beautiful.
first prize, right?
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, everybody. Those dishes are on their way to David, and then David's also on his way to these little places called Saint and Marble. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your patience. Oh, my mommy says you followed her on Instagram. That's the first message I got
Did you
this
see
morning.
all the food that she cooks?
Yeah. Yes. The first message on WhatsApp. Higgsy followed me on Instagram.
Higgsy.
This Higgsy. David, first name basis, David. It's over now. Guys, be safe. Keep cooking, wear your mask, and let's social distance and make sure we get through the next few months that will be very, very difficult.
Happy spring, everybody. Happy spring.
Plonkies.